Good evening. We're back with more Marvel Champions, and this evening it's going to be She-Hulk versus Klaw on standard difficulty with the Bomb Scare Modular set, which is the easiest it gets for this boss. And unfortunately, that is the only level of difficulty that She-Hulk can really handle. I even failed one attempt with She-Hulk on this difficulty any harder, and it was going to take an inordinate amount of tries to get the luck needed to pass the quest. She-Hulk is definitely a candidate for weakest of the core set heroes, at least in solo play, and the primary reasons for that are her low threat, her weak hero abilities, and her low hand size while in hero form. That being said, this did end up being a very short video, so we were able to dispatch Klaw pretty quickly thanks to some good draws. So we flip over to She-Hulk and deal the 2 damage to Klaw, and we pinged the toughness off of him with Mockingbird and then use She-Hulk's basic attack to deal the 3 damage to kill the minion. We're going to get out superhuman strength here, not to be used until next round, and then draw the 4 cards that we get from She-Hulk's hand size. So Klaw is stunned, so he doesn't get an attack. Add the 1 threat to the main scheme, and then the encounter card brings a Hydra Bomber, which does 2 damage. We're able to use the Justice resource generator and 4 Justice to deal with the side quest. Deal 5 damage to Klaw and stun him once again, and I'm just going to discard those 2 cards I had in my hand. Didn't really like either of them. And draw a 4 again. So again, on the villain's turn, all he can do is remove his stun, and then he gets an encounter card, but the Hydra Bomber does get 1 damage in. And the encounter card is going to deal another 2 damage and heal Klaw for 2. During the hero phase, probably we'll get out Focused Rage here. In the first video with the Rhino, I think I used Focused Rage in the Alter Ego form a couple of times on accident. Here we're going to rectify that mistake by only using Focused Rage in She-Hulk form, as it is a hero action. So we use She-Hulk's basic attack to take out the minion, and then flip over to Alter Ego and draw 6. So Klaw's going to scheme here, and the encounter card is going to confuse She-Hulk, which isn't really a big deal. We don't use her to thwart a whole lot. So we'll see about dropping Klaw into phase 2 here, or maybe next round. Forgot about the threat reduction from Jennifer Walters there. So we go ahead and flip over to She-Hulk and deal the 2 damage to Klaw. Use She-Hulk's basic attack and 1-2 punch to drop Klaw into phase 2. Just going to bring the Immortal Klaw onto the table. Going to use Focus Rage here, draw a card. And go ahead and discard Hellcat and the Interrogation Room to get out Surveillance Team. And then draw our 4 cards. So 2 threat on the main quest this round thanks to Immortal Klaw being out. Mockingbird's going to chump block the attack. And no problem, the activation's not going to deal damage to us. And that brings in an Armored Guard, which is an annoyance because you can't damage Klaw while the Armored Guard is out. It does have the guard trait. Except with certain cards, you can do it with Ground Stomp. We're going to go ahead and probably get out... Well, actually, I think Split Personality would be pretty good here. We can change form over to Jennifer Walters and draw up to the hand size, which is 5. Then we can flip back to She-Hulk, since we haven't used that action yet this round, for our normal action. And proc her 2 damage to remove the tough, and take out the Armored Guard with her basic attack. Then we can 1-2 punch surveillance team to keep the threat low. And we'll deal the 3 damage. We'll 1-2 punch again. Another 3 damage. And we draw our 4. Ground Slam should end the battle in relatively short order. So 2 threat on the main scheme, and then Klaw's attack is for 3, which I face tank, and then the encounter card is Illegal Arms Factory, which we're probably going to ignore and just focus Rage to draw a card and then use all 4 of those resources to Ground Slam and end the battle. I would owe another encounter card, but again, we're missing 12 HP at the moment. We can just spend the 4 resources, Ground Slam for 12, and that'll do it. So even though this one was over very quickly, She-Hulk, I had a very rough time with She-Hulk against Klaw on anything harder, against the Masters of Hydra on Standard, and certainly against either of the expert modes, so I think She-Hulk is quite weak. One of the reasons I like doing these videos and playing card games in general is not necessarily to play perfectly, but to play so that I can analyze the strength of different decks. I enjoy deck building and then testing decks out and testing different heroes out, and then I like sharing my opinion about them with basically anybody who I know who likes card games. And it is my opinion that She-Hulk is very weak. And it's not really that relevant because She-Hulk comes with the core set by default, so no one's trying to decide whether to buy her or not. But in the future, players will be trying to decide whether to buy expansion packs that might be good or that might improve She-Hulk. And she definitely needs it, so if you're a big She-Hulk fan and you buy the core set, in true solo play at least, I think you'll be disappointed by her performance. Iron Man was able to defeat all 3 villains on expert difficulty with the standard modular sets. She-Hulk, in my opinion, can't come close to that without a significant amount of tries, which means you need to get lucky. There's nothing really you can do deck building wise to improve She-Hulk at this particular phase in the game with just the core set cards. That's my opinion on her. But she can beat Klaw and Ultron on standard difficulty with the Bomb Scare modular threat. So that's something. At least you can play her. She's not completely useless, but definitely a candidate for weakest of the core set heroes. So, thank you for watching.